all you inners from Earth. Welcome to Remember the Cant. This is our podcast where we talk about all things the Expanse, and we're currently on season 1. I'm Parvati, and with me are my co hosts Bala and Sumit. Say hello, guys.
Hey
Hey,
folks. Oi.
Sasake,
Bananas.
Bradnas.
So, today we are going to be talking about episodes 9 and 10. And I hope that we, wrap things up today. So, first off, we have critical mass, and then we have Leviathan Wakes, and that actually concludes season 1 of The Expanse. And here we have a lot of things going on with things revealed, with the proto molecule, with Julie, with Miller and his hat. And let's get down to it. Sumit, what did you think? Let's start with the critical mass. What did you think?
There was a lot of information in this episode that they gave, a lot of answers that we had. Also, they perfectly, the theory that we had in the previous episode, it
Yeah.
exactly what happened. So we could have just waited one episode instead of
All
instead
those
of
theories.
all those theories, and they explained it, and I was glad that we were right.
Yeah,
So
we're
that
smart.
part was good. I think this is the longest. This is Jolie's episode, but the actor finally got to act and not just be in pictures. The notes I have of all both these episodes, critical mass has more critical mass. The Leviathan Wakes is mostly action, but this one has a lot of information that it gave out and a
Yeah.
lot of useful information. Bala, what did you make of it?
When I suggested that we should do these together, I didn't have any of these in mind that, oh, this one is going to be key to our understanding of this, or that they were released together. All this was news to me. I didn't know that. I just knew that if I watched, from what I remember watching episode 9, I felt that we would definitely want to watch episode 10. And so this would be great to watch it together, is what I thought. In terms of episode 9, I agree. The lots of exposition, all the backstory 7 weeks earlier, what happened, all that was woven in nicely explained. If you hadn't watched episode 1 through 8, you're still good. You can start with 9 and watch 10. Your season 1 is done. So there's a lot of information that you know. And Miller was Miller, and there was this bird which kept there. Semi was there. So all of these things were there. And yes, and Avasarala was at her best, annoying best, at her snooping best, using arm twisting best. She was there. And of course, we get to know that this thing has a name. I was thinking, do I call it protomolecule? I already know it's called protomolecule, but should I call it or not? Well, it's all now we're going to call it protomolecule. So that's what it was there. And yeah, like you said, many things were explained. All our theories came true, which is good. And it left the last statement that Holden makes is we are dead and because of the dosage of hard radiation. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Episode 9.
So I personally thought there was a lot of information, and I'm really glad we were right in all our speculations. I feel like there was a bit of an info dump right at the beginning because you're showing Julie and you're showing all that she did. You're showing these flashbacks, and there was a lot of information to keep track of. So for me, even if I have watched all the previous episodes, it was a little bit of an overload with everything they dumped on us at that time, especially at the beginning. But I really enjoyed this episode, and also this conflict you have with Holden and Miller, them going to these street fights and then getting pummeled. All of that was very interesting. It was very action oriented, despite having so much information crammed in, which I think is very difficult to do. And it also solved a lot of, not solved exactly, but it did make a lot of things clear because now you know that this glowing blue substance is something called a protomolecule. It seems to have something of a life of its own. Nobody knows what it is. And also, Julie's death was just so gruesome. So this
Yeah.
thing, it gives, when they start to investigate this protomolecule, you do get an idea of what it can do because it's not something that any human is actually used to. So I found it a very interesting and a good setup for the finale, the season finale, I think.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. the gruesome part still stays because now
Yeah.
we're looking at that, I don't know, corpse or whatever for a much longer
Mhm.
time. They're
Yes.
doing all these tests and they're extracting this colorful substance and all that is happening. I mean, they just showed a glimpse of it in episode 8 and I thought it was gruesome. And here they're like, we have
Yeah.
visages of that everywhere. Uh,
True, true.
and yeah, this also sort of a summary episode of what happened S1 through E8 in the proper chronological order, in the correct sequence. Everything was mentioned properly. And what probably I did not, I mean, I see that this is all from Julie's point of view, but the narration was quite annoying, I thought. So it
Yeah,
is, she is trying
Yeah.
to appeal to DOS, and it's, I don't know, it was very, what do you call it?
it felt dumbing it down for me a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Correct.
That
Exactly.
narration, especially because see, episode 1 to 8, there is no hand holding to just a little bit of exposition to
Yes.
whenever a scene starts, but there is no hand holding at all, and the fun was in figuring out what is happening.
exactly.
In
Yeah.
this episode, they spell it out, they
Yeah.
spell out everything, and although I liked our theories being corroborated, but there was a lot of spoon feeding going on in this
Yeah.
episode.
Correct.
There was, and a lot of it came from Julie, right? Because she was just
Yeah,
talking and talking and talking, and
literally
then yeah,
spoon feeding.
literally
I don't know if you
spoon
guys have
feeding.
seen this Hishi, Hishe, how it should have ended.
How it should
There's
have
a
ended.
YouTube channel
Yeah.
that Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, the Zack Snyder one. In
Mm.
that Hishi, there's a kid going
Sam Raimi,
Spider
sorry.
sorry, Sam Raimi, yeah, not Zack Snyder. So the kid says, Spider-Man, you're so cool, I like you, but no narration.
Yeah.
And he goes, immediately goes, so where was I? So the kid intervenes and says, no narration. I wanted to tell Julie, no narration. So that
Yeah.
was quite annoying for me because we can see she's sick. You don't have to tell me
Yeah.
I'm sick, right? I can see she's
Yeah.
really sick, and something's really affected. That's obvious. I can see it all. Why do you have to
I
spell
think
it out?
problem with me also was that with her narration, it also felt she was sick on the one hand, and then there's no way she could have said so much. But on the other hand, it also felt like she was reading out a script. So it was,
She did
it
a
was like,
semi.
yes, she did. She did a thing. Exactly. It kind of broke immersion for me because how do you say so much so eloquently? You're not supposed to, unless you have a
Yeah.
script.
Thankfully, she didn't say, I'm breaking lamp number 1, I'm breaking lamp number 2.
Yeah, you're crawling at the end there.
Uh,
Yeah,
So where do you get the strength to narrate everything?
yeah.
exactly. And that too for so long, right? So somebody's given her a
She
script.
had her not phone. What is it called? That
Oh yeah,
Comms.
the comms.
it has no signal for the entire duration of her stay.
I don't know.
That's a bit
Why
weird.
DOS didn't reply to that? I have no idea.
She
In
didn't
fact,
send it out, right? She just recorded
Yeah.
on her. There was no signal on her comms.
oh, is it?
Mm.
Okay. No
Yeah.
idea. I
She was
didn't pay
pretty much
attention to that
trapped.
part.
Yeah, she was pretty much trapped and constantly speaking, and nobody really knew what happened to her. So the setup was fine. The narration was a little bit of overkill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they tried to explain how Fred Johnson got the coordinates with this OPA beacon, locator
Right.
beacon. So that's what I thought she did. But
Mm.
it was meant for DOS, I think, but somehow Fred Johnson got it. So I couldn't really, I thought, okay, they're all same OPA, everybody gets that. So everybody in OPA knows that there's this Anubis sitting on this rock, I guess. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
what she said.
Yeah, the
But
coordinates for that,
mm,
right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, that's
Or
how Fred Johnson knows of Lionel Polanski, the distress thing.
yes, the
exactly.
distress call. Correct.
Yes,
But I
But
think that,
everything.
yeah, that distress
Yeah.
call was to the OPA, not to DAWs
Correct.
in particular.
But I
correct.
think she was reaching out to DOS first, wasn't she? That's the impression I got. When the signals weren't going through, I was under the impression that she was attempting to contact DOS at first. But yeah, it didn't happen the way she wanted it to, and Fred Johnson is the one who received it ultimately.
And also, I noted that, remember on the Cant, when Holden is on night duty and is listening to that erased message,
Mhm.
SOS, and he hears Julie's voice saying, "Help me," or something like that. And they tried to explain it by the fact that she has that little pen drive like gadget, she's speaking to it. But that's in this episode, they show it while the Anubis is firing on the Cant and it just
Yeah.
misses the knight. So it couldn't
Yeah.
have been. So it's I think there's probably a problem. I don't know. That's what I thought.
Continuity problem.
Continuity problem is what
Yeah,
I thought. She should have done that before they started
mm,
attacking the Cant.
Yeah,
yeah,
because they planned the distress beacon on
Right.
Scopula in order to lure the Cant. So that was
Yes.
yeah.
their plan all along, to
Correct.
lure the
Mm,
Cant. And
Yeah.
this idiot, our idiot, fell into it.
No, but at the same time, if she had gone inside and immediately sent out the SOS, then that makes sense because
yeah.
what he heard was not only the SOS but also her voice. That's what made him change his mind, saying, "Hey, is this somebody really in
Correct.
distress?"
Yes,
Uh,
he had to amplify the signal also at the time, if we remember, and he
Yes,
heard this voice, a very faint female voice, and that's what
correct.
kind of gave him this idea that there's probably somebody out there, a damsel in distress, and he wants to
I
play the hero.
Yeah,
I think the time span in this one is it's shown to be very short.
yeah,
It's shown to
Mm,
be in a matter of hours. I think it happened over a matter of days
yeah.
because
possible. Yeah,
Holden listened to it
mm.
at night, right? They listened to it in the morning, the distress
Mm.
call they got in the morning. And
Right.
at night he goes and checks out, and then there's the voice saying, "Help me."
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes. Yes, yes. He
So
was
they
also
sped it
alone
up
at the
in this
time.
one.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did. They did.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
alone at the time of the comms when this voice came in. That's
Right.
true.
And
Also,
it's established that
yeah.
Anubis is a stealth one and is also
Mm,
a heavily armed one, armed
A
yes,
ship.
gunship.
It's a
correct.
gunship.
Gunship. It's a
So that
gunship. Yeah.
so what is not known yet is how did they get the coordinates of Anubis and the fact that it left Phoebe and where to intercept it because it's a stealth. How come they know
It's a
this?
father's it's a father's ship, right?
Yeah.
Anubis.
That's what they showed in that brief
Yeah,
interlude. They showed that.
Oh, really? Okay, I
Yeah.
missed
it,
that.
it belongs to Jules Pierre Mao.
Right.
Okay.
So he owns it, and probably she got it from the company's logs or something. That
Oh,
is not
okay.
shown, but
Yeah.
that's
We'll
It's
why
see.
they
implied.
spare her also.
Huh.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah, that part I
yeah.
got. That she's a
Yeah.
complication because of her dad.
Yeah.
That I think that part was made most clear when this guy called her father to inform him of Julie's death, and her father didn't really react all that much. So it was made very, obvious that there is some kind of an involvement over there. And he did give a command after that.
Hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
all
There was some
interconnected. Yeah.
there was some effort on his part to show that he had cried a
Hmm.
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he touched his face. That was pretty much it.
No, I think he really
Okay.
cared for her in that aspect, a little bit
Yeah.
at least, but the business always comes first. He also
Yeah.
named her after himself,
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jules
okay.
Pierre.
I
Okay,
Julie.
cannot
like.
be a little bit honest about that crying scene. You know those incidents in theaters where they sometimes hold us placards, applaud, laugh. It looked like that somebody showed him a card, cry, and it didn't quite land.
He was reading the crying of a script. Cry now.
Julie reminds me of Sukarno and Sukarno Putri, Indonesia's leaders, right? The previous
Oh,
PM and the next one. Oh, you guys have
uh,
no clue what I'm talking about. Okay.
no idea.
Sukarno was the previous Prime Minister of Indonesia, and his daughter is Sukarno Putri. She became the next PM.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the daughter of Sukarno.
Anyway,
they enter Scopula through a breaching pod. That was the first we've seen something like this.
in visuals, because we are told
Yes.
in Danager that they have breached.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are
Oh,
being
that.
That's the
boarded
first
is
time we're
what we are
seeing.
told, but first time we are seeing it breach.
Yes.
Yeah. And the
They
next
actually,
scene, they take them aboard
yeah,
Anubis. That part I was confused because if you're breaching means you're coming inside, right?
yeah,
So they have skipped all that part of coming in, taking the
Yeah.
prisoners and
yeah,
taking them
yeah.
back.
Correct. All of that is skipped. Yes. So
Because when Julie was thrown into that room, I was like, why are they throwing her in scopula? Then
Yeah.
she said it's feeling hot and the
does
internal
that
breach
have any
happened
significance? Them feeling any hot because of this
because of the proto
proto-molecule?
molecule
It's
that
because
leaked,
Proto-molecule
of
only.
the
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
protomolecule. Yeah, it's an infection. The way it spreads causes them to feel hot initially.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is attracted to that reactor
Mm.
inside Anubis. Yeah.
It wants to attach itself to that also. So
If it is, why does that guy who is extracting this fluid from Julie say it's not airborne when quite clearly it enters through the nose?
yeah,
Yeah. When it's convenient, it is touch. It
Yeah.
transfers to
If you
touch.
can see it floating, then it's airborne.
It's airborne.
yeah,
Correct. Like the that James Cameron thing floating in the air, no, glowing.
Yeah.
oh,
So
yeah.
same things. If they're there,
That,
then it
yeah.
can go through your system. But if
The
not,
trouble
it's only touch.
for me, it seemed like the protomolecule is basically it shows itself as it wants. You know, you I don't know. It kind of plays on your perception of how it should be. So it doesn't stick to any one property. So it could be
Yeah.
airborne, it could be through fluids, it could be through anything. It just decides on the spot. It feels like that when it sees whoever it wants to infect or whatever it wants to infect. It kind of
Yeah.
changes its properties that way.
No, proto-molecule is very script friendly. So
Yeah,
whatever adapts to the
it's
script, it takes
yes,
that form. That's
But
fine.
going by
exactly.
that theory, Parvati's
Yeah,
theory, like
yeah,
it, uh, the it allowed that guy to extract itself from Julie because it
yeah,
wanted to spread
yeah,
that way,
yes,
right?
yeah,
So killing
exactly,
him that at that point is not helpful to its cause.
Yeah,
exactly.
correct.
Yeah, it
Because
does
How
the
seem to have
quickly
script,
some kind
this
of
the
sentience.
script
Yeah,
said that that girl be killed some other
right.
way, so there's
some
no
other
need
way.
to
Yes,
affect him, right? Infect him right now.
But the
yeah,
infection spread so quickly.
it does.
Yeah.
It spreads violently, actually, so quickly. But of course, when the script calls for it, it doesn't spread.
Yeah,
No, is that the iodine injection that they're giving? Is that the proto molecule?
that I thought
Yeah,
that's the proto molecule because I was like,
Ah.
yeah,
is it?
you are an evil government. Why are you giving helpful things? You shouldn't
Ah.
be trusted. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. So that makes sense. Okay.
yeah,
Because I wrote it as iodine in brackets, in quotes, sorry, in quotes.
Yeah.
Well,
mm,
that doesn't come yet, is it? Where's my iodine? Oh, we're
It
not
does.
yet there. That's in the
It's
next
in
episode.
episode 10, but
Oh,
we
yeah.
are
okay.
just
We're
combining
just
both.
talking about
That's
it.
fine.
Yeah,
That's fine. We can
Yeah, it's
refer to
fine.
that.
When
Um,
Julie
yeah,
dies, she sees Miller and the bird.
this is something that also I was wondering about. Why is the bird? And the bird wasn't there when he was walking to wherever he was walking, right? He was there on the bird was
At
there
the other
only
side of
in
the
Julie's
window.
yeah.
apartment on the other side of the glass. I don't remember
Ah,
the bird being right hovering above him when he's holding this rosary thing. I don't remember it being there in that previous scene.
mm, it was
She has never seen Miller in her life, as far as we know.
yeah.
Yeah.
That also gives you a sense of or an idea that she may not be dead in the way that we understand it. So the protomolecule has some kind of a conscience. What is it called? I keep forgetting the words. It is conscious. I'm sorry.
Consciousness.
Yes, correct. Consciousness. It has some kind of consciousness in a way that nobody really understands because of looking at how it infects people. So I was thinking while I was watching this episode, maybe she's not dead in that sense. Some part of her is alive somewhere and it can see things like Miller, maybe.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was thinking if it's it's omniscient that way.
Yeah.
The proto-molecule, it's omnipresent. Wouldn't it need some kind of a receiver end at the
Yeah.
at her apartment? If she's that scene happens in her apartment, however wrong
Yeah.
it is. Miller and the bird at the same time were at her apartment or
This
his
was at her apartment.
her
That was
apartment,
her.
right?
Yeah. Right.
I don't know how she's saying that. Is it just, do we just chalk it up to the divine and move on?
Yeah. Some things are a bit. They don't
Yeah.
make much sense. We have
She's
to.
part of the Iowa. Oh, wait a second. Sorry, wrong.
Wrong franchise.
Wrong franchise. Wrong franchise. No, I think that's not established yet till we get
Yeah.
to, in fact, end of episode 10, that it can somehow take your
Essence.
consciousness or anything
Yeah.
like that, right? Or
Yeah.
in fact, the scientist guy, I
Mm.
forget his name now, that guy says it can
Dresden.
learn this way, it can learn this way. So it's sort of
Right. Yeah.
saying it can learn. Somewhere he mentions that. I don't know if it is 9 or 10. So my
Also,
feeling is that
naming a
it probably does
character
that. Sorry?
Dresden.
Dresden. Yes, Dresden.
Dresden is site of the bombings, of the fire bombings that the Allies did on Dresden, Germany, right?
Oh, the real Dresden.
Yeah.
So they flattened the entire city by
Okay.
firebombing it.
Okay.
So it's kind of giving it away that he's flattening the entire population of this.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Makes sense.
100,000 people experiment.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes
Yeah,
sense.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
fire
Makes
in this
sense.
case is hard radiation. Yeah.
Yes. It is.
And how better than to show an invisible radiation, but laser beam all across, like scanning that.
Yeah.
True. True.
They could have just left it at that, the hand com going beep beep radiation. That was more than enough for us to know that there is radiation, hard radiation. They didn't have to show us like the scanning it up and down. Nobody uses. You can't track radiation like that. It's just not possible.
But they had to show it, right? Like in movies also, the sniper doesn't need laser to go in
Yeah.
because it won't go in a straight line ever. They have to account for the wind and everything.
Correct.
But still, they have
They
to
show
show a
it.
laser
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah,
For us,
there is
yes.
a sniper. Ooh, sniper, watch
Yeah.
out. There's a laser pointer at me.
There's a laser pointer. There's a kid with a laser pointer who's pointing it
Correct.
at your head.
Yeah, it is that thing.
Yeah.
I
We
made
also.
note of this
Yeah.
belter curse word that they use,
Yeah.
sabakawala.
Sabaka wala.
Yeah.
I noticed that is
So
quite something.
sabakawala is someone who frequents prostitutes.
Oh,
As sabaka is a Russian word for a female dog. So
female
make of it
dog.
like
Oh,
a for a bitch.
okay. Got
So
it.
make of it what you
Oh,
want.
Yeah. That's.
Sabaka. That's a new one. I didn't know this. Okay.
Yeah.
We
Uh,
also learned that Christian is not above stealing some stuff.
oh yeah. Even if
So
it means pencils. Yeah.
pencil
Yeah.
stealer like a like
Pencil stealer.
like a 4-year-old she's stealing.
Yeah. She just
Ooh,
finds them
nice
and picks them
sharpened
up. And,
ones.
yeah. Yeah. Nice
Any
sharpened pencils. Just take them.
2 HB pencils, three of them.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, she's always wanted to be an artist. Why can't she indulge her whims and fancies when she finds pencils?
Uh,
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not quite understand what kind of betrayal she faced. Did you guys know? Because at the end they showed Jules with the UN guy. What's his
Okay.
name?
Yeah.
Erin Wright.
Ellen Wright.
I didn't write, right? Yeah.
And then at the end, Christian with her husband, she's saying they all think of me as someone
This.
who is playing the old game.
No, I
Yeah.
think Jules Mao and Erin Wright, they're all involved in this bigger ploy of using the proto molecule for some reason or the other. And they don't want, so that's what my theory is, that they don't want to focus on Eros and the experiment. And this whole war, this whole inner planets and the Belters conflict is a distraction from the main goal, which is the proto-molecule and the experiments around that.
But my understanding was that Anubis was Jules' mouse ship. That's the conclusion I came to.
Yes.
And then why the crew of the Anubis says that they want to get Earth and Mars in a war, so the focus is off Eros. Sooner we get Earth and Mars at loggerheads, sooner the eyes will be off Eros.
So what I got, I'll hear Parvati also next, but what I thought was there's some experiment they did on Phoebe at a small scale. It worked, probably with some test subjects that they
The
can't reveal.
revelations on Phoebe that they
Revelations on Phoebe,
Yes.
right? So now they want to scale up that experiment. So thinking like a typical scientist would be it worked at a small scale. Can I scale it up by a factor of, I don't know, 100, 10, 100, whatever. So let's go to a place where nobody cares about, Eros, but belters may care about it. So how do you engage the belters, inners in this? Let's start a conflict. And that was Anubis. So Anubis had two-pronged agenda. Agenda number one is to trigger this whole battle.
Yeah.
While that's happening, they will go on ahead with their plan in Eros. So that was the two-pronged. The second agenda was to go to Eros and continue this experiment, which was derailed by Julie and the proto-molecule, of course. However, it came back on track with this scientist, and Jules Mao orders the hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought that was what happened.
So the original plan was, if Scopuli wasn't involved, from Phoebe, the Anubis flies to Eros and spreads the infection.
No, but it'll still do this Canterbury thing.
It still do that Canterbury.
Yeah,
It will
Canterbury
still
thing,
so
yeah.
that they'll get distracted by all of this.
Yes,
But everything they wanted eventually happened.
correct. But instead
yeah.
of, but I see the hole here. That is, if Scopuli weren't there in question at all, okay, would they have directly attacked Canterbury? Because they're a stealth fighter, they can just fire it without any retaliation.
Because they planted that distress call on Scopuli.
Yes.
But so what if the Scopuli wasn't there? There's no distress call. So what is their
They
plan?
would have.
Was it to go to the Canterbury and destroy it straight away? Is that the plan? Was that the original plan?
I think they had to get the Canterbury out of the way also first before they destroyed it. So
But what was in
Scopuli,
Canterbury that they
yeah,
had to destroy Canterbury?
that
Water.
was
Ice.
Ice.
ice, yes. So
Yes.
there was this confusion with the Martian beacon, right? In the first few episodes, they were talking about the Martian beacon, and this is why Holden tried to, he spread the word that Mars is responsible for the destruction of Canterbury, which would have brought Earth, Mars, and the Belters all in conflict with each other. So I think this Scopuli was used as bait. I feel it was to make it a bit more convincing and to remove all trails from the Anubis that they use a Scopuli, because if they didn't have the Scopuli and the Anubis destroyed the Canterbury directly without that distress call, I feel maybe that this plan wouldn't have worked as much, because there'll be a lot of open and loose ends, and you don't know who did what, who to blame. This way, it was very easy, and also Holden escaped very conveniently. So he broadcasts that Mars was responsible for the destruction of the Canterbury, thereby bringing these two planets into conflict. It seems a very convoluted way of trying to get people to fight so that they can focus on the proto-molecule. But yeah.
Alternatively, I'm thinking they go ahead and destroy the Canterbury, and the nearest ship would have been the Donager, and they go ahead and attack the Donager also, making it look like a retaliation. I don't know. No, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. I was just thinking of that theory in my head. Without this Scopuli, none of this would have actually Scopuli helped in the whole process. So Julie, in a way, helped the cause of her dad.
That's true, but I also feel that the Donager would have escaped if Holden hadn't boarded it. It was just Holden's interference that got so many ships blown up.
No, I don't think so. No.
He's a wild card.
Why would
they breached him?
Yeah.
So
It's a bit of a wild card. I don't know.
I don't think Holden's in. I mean, as much as we want
he
to
literally
pin it on
says in this
Holden,
episode,
Yeah.
I'm making it my problem.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
his problem at all. Yes,
The
And I
idiot.
have a feeling that his broadcast kind of accelerated matters
exactly.
and made them
Yeah.
worse. And also, he is the one who broadcasted distress signal, which brought Donager from wherever it was to, for a rescue. So
Yeah.
I think maybe the impression I got was maybe they felt that he had information on him and they wanted to capture him for some reason because he survived the explosion of the Canterbury. And
Hmm.
to get rid of him, the Donager had to pay the price for it.
Hmm. Okay.
Them destroying the Donager,
Yeah.
doesn't it harm their cause of
Yeah,
getting?
that's what I also thought.
Because he
actually.
was that idiot also already made the proclamation that Mars destroyed it.
Right.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then why would they want to destroy a Martian ship?
Exactly. I don't
It
know
was
what
the
are the
Anubis that
purposes.
destroyed Donager.
That's what they.
Yes.
I think
That's
that's what happened.
That's it.
Yes,
That's the
it's not
they were
spelled
understanding.
out.
boarded by
Like
5 ships. It says,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
all of them came from the Anubis. I think.
There was a
Okay.
small fleet of ships that had stealth. That much
Right.
we know. But they
Yeah.
can't all be the Anubis.
Yeah. They can't all be the Anubis. Were they part of Anubis and
maybe
somehow
the
they
Anubis 1A, 1B,
Oh yeah, there are plenty of
Yeah,
those.
one
plenty
day.
of
Correct.
Anubises.
And then what happened to the
Yes.
rest of them? Where are they now? They'll come back
They
later.
ran away.
They'll come
Yeah,
back later, I guess.
I think
They've
so.
Anu dispersed.
Yes.
Oh my. So I'm going to call out the elephant in the room. Sematimba? What the heck is his name?
Semi.
Semi-Timba?
Sematimba, he calls him
Sematimba. Semi.
Semi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sematimba.
He has a CPM badge, by the way, I noticed. So he's
Yes.
calling CPM the cops,
Yeah,
what,
I
thugs
thought he
and
was CPM.
I also thought he was CPM. Did he say he's CPM? Because I thought he did. Maybe he
but he
didn't.
called CPM
That's from
badges.
Yes.
Then,
yeah.
but he's one of them. So for me, so is he now
Maybe
part of
he's
CPM?
part of the. I don't know why he's wearing the CPM outfit. Maybe to fit in, but
Mm.
but maybe he's of that private police force that Miller was part of. I forgot its name.
Star
Star
Helix.
Helix.
Star
Helix.
Helix. Yeah.
Yeah.
No idea. I was all confused. Why is he wearing CPM after bad mouthing CPM for so long? Suddenly he's like, oh, he's wearing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the episode 10 starts with them going in the Naomi suggesting her clear OPA links and
Yeah.
Amos and
Yeah.
Alex looking at
Like,
each other.
Very
What?
oh, you're
unprepared.
full of surprises. Meaning OPA.
Yeah.
She knows way too much and she's not hiding it. Now she's feeding into everybody's paranoia also with that.
Yeah.
Uh, No, before we jump to season 10, I wanted to bring this up, which is Avasarala with all her pencil staining finally finds out that this design is like none other than this is stealth and she doesn't know where it is. Only that when is it? Few moments later they tell us, Fred Johnson does it in his talking.
Yes.
Like 2 scenes later, it's
Broadcast.
all
Yeah.
completely revealed. So that
Yeah.
what's the point of that big scene about her pencil and getting and figuring out that this is what it was. He's going to give her all the data, the design, everything anyway. She needn't have stolen that pen, those 3 pencils. She got
Now
three
that
That,
data drives, but yeah.
yeah.
Frank's husband knows that not to
Yeah.
let this anywhere near her stationery.
Yeah, exactly. He was so unhappy with her. I think that particular scene was just to show some character growth in quotations for Christian because she has been an example of jumping to conclusions throughout season 1. Most of her conclusions haven't been right, and she takes actions based on her conclusions, which are mostly wrong. So I think this is where she realizes that a lot of what she thought may not be true, and just to show that they created the scene of her stealing pencil. So many people died because of her actions.
No,
Many
also
people
I
don't
think
even
they show
like
that
her.
blood stain on the photograph or something. So right,
Yes.
so eventually she
Yeah.
concludes that De Graaf was killed. He didn't kill himself, but it was that Erin
It
Wright
was a
probably
murder.
ordered the
Yes.
hit.
Yes. It took a while for her to get there. Also because she has many preconceived notions. I feel like that scene was just to show some character growth for her, and she realizes something that whatever she assumed before this might have been wrong, and that scene was just to show that clearly.
Hmm.
And
Maybe.
for the rest of us, we have Fred Johnson and his broadcast.
Yeah. Is like this is the attachment of all the designs,
Yes,
everything, Bush, naval
reading from
shipyard,
a script
everything.
again. Yeah, that is reading from a script again.
No, we can even see
Yeah.
it now. This time, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Yeah, literally.
exactly. He does.
Literally reading.
Literally.
I like the teleprompter. Yeah, it's nice. Mhm. Yeah, this we already talked about. OBA, smuggling routes, all that is done.
So Holden finally kills someone
He does, no?
intentionally.
Yeah, he does.
Intentionally, he kills someone.
Yes.
Unintentionally, he's probably killed thousands.
Miller is so contemptuous of Holden. It's actually
Yeah.
radiating off him, that dislike. So I feel they'll probably be friends later because they hate each other
Yeah,
so much.
perfect buddy cop
Yeah,
tropes. The whole.
exactly.
I recently read somewhere that buddy cop and romantic rom-coms have the same arc of. So
Yeah.
they went through everything. They were
Yes.
at loggerheads, and
Yes.
then
Yeah.
They've been
then they
hit by
have to
the
face the
same thing.
same thing. So they are in the same boat now.
Yeah. Now they're in the same boat. Let's be
Yeah,
friends.
let's be
I really
friends.
like that rash irritation and sudden death.
The
That's all. The sudden
side
death
effects
is
of that
just,
disease,
yeah,
of that
Oh, the
medication. Sorry.
painkiller, yeah.
medication.
Yeah,
Yeah, that he
That
just
was
threw that
awesome.
out there. There's no concern. Just threw it out there, deadpan.
yeah.
By the trivia, I took me a little while to read the katakana in that parlor. Pachinko Pawa. Pachinko Power, I guess. That's what it's
Hmm.
written in katakana. And then next scene, of course, Miller says, "Oh, this is the pachinko parlor," and I've grown up in such parlors. So he says that
Yes.
the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
gaming parlor.
I Him and that semi guy were so close. I did not know. From
Yeah.
their interactions, you wouldn't know that they are that close.
Yeah.
Just that he took his hat.
Hey, come on. He
Yeah.
called him amigo, right? Isn't that enough?
My fault then. Sorry, I should have known.
Twice you've seen that scene now, okay?
Yeah.
Not
Twice.
just once. He calls him amigo. That's enough, man. That tells me that
Yeah.
Uh,
reveals the whole thing.
Yeah.
uh,
No secrets.
at the I'm sorry, I'm just jumping to the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amos literally means to carry in Hebrew. So
Oh,
Ah.
okay.
He
he's
does that.
he
He
does
Oh.
does
that.
that. He does that.
Man, you so actually no jumping back to episode 9. He was so
Mm.
trigger happy in that clash when the comms are down and there's a lot of fire and crossfire. I don't know
Yeah.
which one is that. This is the and Amos is very happy. He was just trigger happy. He just go
Yeah,
on and on
that's
and
his home. He wants
on. Yeah.
Yeah. He wants to shoot. He wants to
he
be in
wants
Just
to
battle.
shoot
shooting
some
at
people.
everything
Yeah.
that was
Yes.
moving around. Yeah.
Yes. And good for him. A lot of things were moving, so he could shoot. That's why he's happy.
Yeah.
Uh,
I felt
Mm,
like in this episode, like episode 9, there were a lot of new names. I found it a little hard to keep track of who's who, especially with the flashbacks. So if there was one criticism, that would be it. It is, you have a lot of characters. Even otherwise, there are a lot of people to keep track of because the population is so high. They're showing it like that. They're showing it as a densely populated solar system. I do
yeah.
feel that some of the characters they introduced, they had such short screen, such little screen time, and it kind of interfered a little bit with the narrative because there were so many. That's just my view, though.
like who? I don't know. I haven't written down any character.
That
Yeah,
Fred.
me too.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
sorry. I
that's
probably
why
missed
even I don't
missed
remember.
that
That's why.
completely.
No. That's why I did not deliberately write it down because I was a little bit losing the thread of the plot, but yeah, it's just an observation because you suddenly have so many named guards, or you have new named factions, and then you have new heads of said named factions. I found it a little confusing at the
Ah,
beginning,
that. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
that kind of
Okay.
thing. And so I did not consciously attempt to memorize all of those new names. So I'm hoping that, by season two, it'll be a little bit easier for me to keep track of.
And thanks
Great.
to Amazon, we
Yeah,
didn't even have
yeah,
X-ray this time.
that's true.
Such a
Ah,
bad.
Gregas, dos Armogios. Those are the two names that I wrote down. Those are the gangs in series that these mercs were hired from. But that's all
Yeah,
that those are, Gregas we've already come across in series. I think those
yeah,
are the guys who take care of what's his name, Havelock.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's
So
true.
Kothari was part of
Yes,
Kothari
Kothari,
was part of
Filat
it.
Kothari.
Pilat
Pilat
Kothari.
Kothari. Yes,
Yes, he
he
is
was part
there.
of that.
And
Yeah,
since you're bringing up the idea of names, this
yeah.
Mali, who's the name of the girl,
Mm-hmm.
was she named? Naomi suddenly called her Mali, or was she
No,
named at
no.
some point of
We
time?
had discussed this during that episode where Fred Johnson is revealed to be the butcher of some ship, right?
Anderson Station,
Anderson
Yes,
right?
Station.
Anderson
yes.
Station. Yeah,
So
Anderson.
yep,
that
yep.
there that father there also calls his daughter Sitara Mali. Sitara Mali
Mm,
means little star.
yes,
Ah,
yes, yes.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That's true. That makes sense. Yeah,
So she
Sitara
calls
Mali. I
her
remember that
Sitara
now.
Mali, little star.
Yeah,
Okay.
And then her name is revealed to be some
Shukri.
Scrooge Sukri.
Shukri.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Shukri.
So this Sitara Mali and Mali, I think they're forms of endearment.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think we had discussed it
Yes, yes,
then.
we did. We
Yeah,
had,
we
we had. I
had
forgot that
actually. We did.
term.
Sitara is star
Yeah,
in Urdu, and
Yes.
yeah. And then
Mali was from
Mali.
some other language.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We had done that. That's true.
Okay.
This was the episode 10 felt like a zombie movie, the beginnings of a
Yes.
zombie movie.
Everybody is affected. The pod
Yes.
Yeah.
opens. They're all affected.
Yeah.
There is goo everywhere.
Yes.
Everyone is
Yes.
leaking.
Things are
Yeah,
dripping
yeah, yeah, yeah.
everywhere.
And we
Yes.
have what happened to Kenzo also. Nice scene.
Yeah,
There
Again.
were
Yeah,
these reveals here and there, but it didn't feel artificial that they're
yeah.
reading off a script. But it
yeah,
felt
Just didn't.
very
Yeah.
natural. So it's like they're saying, "Oh, it's all planned," and or Holden says, "Oh, they blew it up on purpose." I mean, he didn't needn't
Yeah.
have told us that. We knew that because if it's not blown up by accident, it has to. The other thing is, it has to be blown up by
yeah.
someone. It's obvious,
It's very
but
hard to blow up a ship that size on accident.
Yeah. Accident is very hard.
Yeah,
he could have left it at that. But Holden, being Holden, had to tell all
Yeah.
yeah,
these things to us. Um
Yes.
Another one that I wanted to bring up here was this: I am a good man. Tell me how I am a good man. Kenzo versus
Oh,
Holden.
yeah.
That's
yeah. I like that scene. I did
It
not
was good.
think
Yeah.
Kenzo deserved that redemption arc after betraying them multiple times.
yeah.
Kenzo
So,
keeps trying
yeah,
because he can adapt to any situation, I feel like. So he can tell you what you want to hear, but this time it didn't.
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Goldfish.
Yes.
And he is going to betray you. Holden, I think
Yeah.
that part was a bit
But
smart
what was
from his
Kenzo
end.
trying to do? He was trying to get off this rock because he knows
Get
he's
off
in
this,
trouble.
yeah,
Yeah. Get off the rock.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
Mercy is what you want.
He probably knows that no one is coming for him.
Yeah. He
Got it.
wants to get out of there. And maybe, he keeps saying he has a family. That is probably one thing that is true. And
Yeah,
he needs
You think
to,
so? I
yeah.
don't think so.
maybe
Maybe,
not.
maybe,
Maybe not.
maybe, maybe not. You never know. But
You will never know.
I,
He's
you
gone.
never know.
He's
With him,
gone.
you never know.
That
That
proto
type of thing.
molecule knows now.
Yeah, now the protocol. And what was it taunting him? It seemed like it was taunting him. First, you take
Yeah,
its form, go behind him, go in front of him, just, unsettle him. I feel like for a last episode, this one had a lot of foreshadowing. It was pretty dark.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
well done. There was a lot
yeah.
of action. It was also pretty frightening with everything that it showed because the protomolecule is shown to be like I've said before, it's shown to be something that nobody really understands. And
Yeah.
I didn't know it could
now,
do these
yeah,
things, like pull people
yeah,
up like that. So
yeah,
that was a new thing. It had never done that
Yeah.
before. We saw people being grossed out, people being,
yeah.
sucked into something, but I didn't know it could pull people up like that.
It also seems to me that the protomolecule is capable of biding its time. So nobody really knows what its full range of abilities are. So it can stay still or act like fungi or whatever the scientist they want to see when it chooses that. Otherwise, we saw a glimpse of what it can actually do, imitate people
Yeah.
or pull them up, take
It's
over
highly
ships.
intelligent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It seems to
And
have a hive mind. Yeah.
these guys think it's just a bioweapon that they can.
Weapon,
Yeah, that's the thing.
correct.
So it allows itself to be seen as it wants to be seen. So the scientists are seeing a bioweapon because it chooses that. But its actual range of abilities we saw towards the end when Kenzo had to face it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That was
that's
really.
yeah, that's was the
Yeah.
reason why they had that scene itself and towards the end.
Yes.
So that leaving you wondering what all can this protomolecule do.
Yes. It's a hive mind, it seems to be. A lot of particles coming together to form one big brain. It seemed like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holden is so surprised at how easily Miller can kill people. It's like,
That's the
Yeah,
funny thing
getting
about
our
Holden. Yeah.
uniforms was a cinch for him. Like, shoot two guys, get the uniform. That's it. What's to think there?
yeah.
Holden is there's so much duality with Holden because he seems to be, on the one hand, he's willing to take command and do all of those things and he can be very brash. And on the other hand, he is so naive sometimes. And
Yeah.
he sees violence and he's horrified by it. He has this, he wants to be a knight, but it doesn't work. Somehow it hasn't occurred to him that he can't be so virtuous and so good or as much as he wants to be. Sometimes you have to be like Miller. It's a very odd character. He has some dualities to him. He's
Yeah.
strange.
Juxtaposed with Miller,
Yeah.
his weaknesses stand out so much.
Yes.
Because he is not street smart at all. He grew up in a
Yeah.
farm and then
Correct.
went on to haul ice. He's, he he doesn't know anything about all of the how the Belters live.
Yeah. He's
Uh,
not street smart. So I
no,
think we'll see the reverse when we are back on the Rocinante because there Miller will probably be a little bit out of his element and Holden will be back home.
yeah,
So we'll see the difference in character again there. They're so different, those two.
I liked throughout the series, these two guys have the most
Mm.
character development, right? Because they are our
Yeah,
protagonist.
correct.
And
They do.
Miller went from a guy who takes bribes in casino chips
Mm.
to someone and who did not care about, who visibly hid his belterness with
Yeah.
a hat.
Right.
Then he went from ditching the hat to accepting who is, after seeing Julie, who is an earther who took up on the belter cause. So
Mm.
he was like, why is this girl so passionate about a cause that I should be passionate about?
Yes.
Because I am the one born here. And at the end, that is what drove him. Similarly to
Yeah.
Holden, he's the one who never wanted to be the captain of the ship,
Yeah.
right? He refused the
The
call to
EXO
action.
position itself, right?
Yeah,
He was
Yeah.
given an EXO position and he said, I don't want it.
yeah.
He gets it
Mm.
He
anyway.
wants to be the knight. He does not want to be the king. He does not want to rule over. He wants to charge into battle without killing
Yeah.
anyone.
And without killing anybody. That's his idea of, uh, yeah.
Yeah,
By
from the
the
end,
end,
he
he
moved
also
with a
kills
trawler.
people and accept. And Naomi also says that I don't want this leadership
Mm.
position. You have it. It's,
One thing I noticed about both these guys is that neither of them really has direction when the story starts. Both of them are searching for something,
yeah,
and towards the end, both of them are brought together. They have some kind of purpose. They know what they need to do next, thanks to Julie, who had to die for it.
yeah. Do they have a purpose at the end?
I
Like
mean, there is the
the purpose,
proto-molecule. Yeah.
the purpose that drove them to through the whole season is
Mm,
gone.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That is gone.
So
But
what
now
is
we
driving
do
them
have,
now?
yeah, now we have the proto-molecule, which is running rampant. So I suppose that is where they will go now, because they need to find
Yeah.
out where it's coming from, what it's doing, why is it glowing or growing tentacles. So there is
And
some
being
direction for them now. Yeah.
being the only survivors of Eros, people will
Yeah.
probably chase them, I think.
Yeah, this is one more place where Holden and gang are the only survivors left. So they have to go tell the story
Yeah,
of
correct.
Story
wherever they
of,
were
Yeah.
to the
oh
rest
my
of the
God.
world. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the third place now.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
It's
Tycho
like
is still intact. I mean, that was a miracle. Tycho
Right.
probably
it's
blessed now, and Tycho are probably blessed.
probably blessed by the Mormons.
Yeah, correct.
It's like that an investigator solves every murder because he is the one
Mm,
doing the murder.
doing all the, yes, it is exactly like,
Even if it's not, people will suspect. How are you at all
yeah,
of these places?
how do you come out of this
Come out
unscathed
of
all the
unscathed.
time?
Uh,
Uh,
hmm. So I like one more thing was Alex's claim that I'm done with this gas hauler bullshit, and he just
He
yeah.
just
puts that
breaks it
out,
off.
and that basically gave makes them free and clear. They go out there.
Amos killing Semi, was
Yeah,
it necessary?
No, not at all.
Really?
I
it's
You
mean,
brutal.
could just shot him in the leg or something. He would have
Yeah,
been
yeah, yeah,
incapacitated.
those kneecaps off. Do you have to kill him? It is
Yeah.
very brutal. Yeah,
Or
exactly.
he could have just knocked him unconscious or
tied him up. Yeah,
yeah. This guy is the one who had no character growth. He stayed the same throughout. He'll have one in next few
I
seasons later.
yeah, next few seasons.
Yeah.
Well, all we have heard him say
yeah.
on the like say the second dimension was she was nice to me and this girl be nice to her
Yeah. But you know
to agree.
something? That scene where he shot Semi and killed him, that was so unexpected that it made me wonder whether Holden had a point in disliking him and telling Naomi to control him, because obviously there is some kind of cruel, cold streak to him which we just saw, and he does
Yeah.
not obviously take orders, because this particular scene where he kills Semi, that was completely unnecessary. It was bloodthirsty. It was cold, and to have such a he, such an element on your ship under your command, you don't know how he's going to react. So I feel like Holden maybe had a point somewhere.
But he has his complete loyalty to
Exactly what I
Naomi,
was
right?
going to
He
say.
He
has
does,
no gray zones. He's either
yeah,
black or white.
Yeah.
that's true. But also he took this decision on his own to shoot
Yeah.
somebody in the ship, which is a dangerous thing to do.
No, that was a very Game of Thrones moment. The
Mm,
total unexpected thing thrown at you, and when
yeah.
it was absolutely unnecessary, it just happened, and you're wondering
Mm,
what the heck happened just now. It
Yeah.
wasn't gruesome like the Game of Thrones thing, but it was
it's
there
just
up.
It did not make rest of the deaths and everything made sense, right, to us. But
yeah.
this one comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't necessary. You could have crippled him and, taken him down to the hold, kept him there as a prisoner. Maybe he knows something. But Amos doesn't think like that. He just shoots, and he seems to be
Yeah.
so trigger happy, like we said before. He's actually smiling when people die. So
He
that, yeah,
he told Miller to his face, I killed him.
yes, he's so
No
happy.
shame this guy has.
Yes, there's no shame at
No,
all.
and what is ironic was he was tending to Miller so that he can get better. And he's
Yeah.
saying, I shot that guy. I just ended his
Yeah,
life and I'm going to
I
make your
shot
life
the
better.
friend you've had for the longest time in your life.
Yeah, just like that. And here I am
Like that.
treating you.
Treating you so that you get better and healthy and be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason his only purpose to be there was to give codes to release the clamps. He said he knew the codes to
Yeah,
release the clamps, right?
Correct.
clamps. Yes,
But
he
that was
did.
not needed because brute force for the win. We have men taking charge and kicking things again.
Let's break everything and just get
Let's
out of here.
break
That's
everything.
it. That's it. Enough of this gas hollow stuff. That's it. We're done.
That's it. Yeah.
You didn't need a 24-digit code for breaking from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the whole Thoth? Thoth is this Egyptian
Yeah.
god of knowledge.
Knowledge. Yes, yes.
What is
He's the
thought?
one. He's the Egyptian god of knowledge. He's supposed to have come from the sky. And he's
Okay.
supposed to be the inventor of alchemy also in some traditions. And he gave
Okay.
them all their esoteric knowledge. And he has this quote that says, as above, so below. So he's also influenced a Greek deity called Hermes Trismegistus. So it's
Wow.
he's a very powerful figure in ancient.
Hermes is the one with wings on his feet, right?
That
On his
is Mercury. Yeah, Mercury. That's Roman thing, but who is the Greek equivalent? Yeah, he does have wings, I think.
yeah, he has.
Yeah,
Because
he
I know that
the messenger of the gods. Yes.
the fashion brand is named after him.
Yeah, yeah. So
Hermes.
there is a Trismegistus, is what Thoth influenced, and of course the regular
Okay.
Hermes who has
What's the
wings.
reference in this episode?
So they upload all
that's-
the data to Thoth. That's
Yeah.
what that Dresden guy
That's what-
says.
Ah.
Yeah, so that's
I
something very
noted that.
knowledgeable, it seems like.
Like Jarvis of Iron Man, I think the Thoth is
Okay.
Yeah.
something like
So
that.
it's a space station. It's a private spin
Yeah.
station located in the belt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not a AI unit or anything.
But it does have more information than the
Maybe,
rest
yeah.
of them do because everything is being uploaded there. So there's something about it, I feel.
Okay.
Why is the episode and the book called Leviathan Wakes?
Yeah,
The
I had no
protomolecule.
idea.
We
Sorry?
have the protomolecule at the end. And it is awoken, so to speak. Nobody
Yeah.
knows what it can do or how much it can do. And it's now they've gone and meddled with it, got it out of wherever it was. It's becoming active. It's a dangerous thing to contend with. And I feel like it's capable of taking over just about everything because nobody knows how it functions.
Hmm.
That, I think, is the Leviathan.
Leviathan is from mythology again?
Biblical
Yes.
Okay.
biblical sea monster that was used in the Bible as a metaphor for a powerful enemy.
Oh, okay.
It literally is a powerful enemy. Why are you?
Yeah.
It's still a
Why
metaphor.
is it a metaphor? But this, yeah, I understand why it's called that now.
Okay.
The funny scene was when Miller kills Kotari. I was calls him over. Kotari.
Yeah.
So that you can get a clean shot. Why all this?
Yeah, why
Oh,
waste
yeah.
ammo?
So you can look straight.
Waste all
Yeah,
of that.
Clean
give
shot.
the guy hope in the last moments of his life. and
Oh,
just end
elevator.
it.
Oh, cool. I didn't think I would take the
Yeah.
elevator. The forbidden elevator is now mine.
Yeah.
Bang.
It's mine.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The way also Miller enrages the crowd before this.
Yeah.
That was classic Miller. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was an amazing scene.
Yeah, that was really good. I don't
He
think
just
I don't
rallied
think
them.
Holden would have ever pulled off anything like that. You'd have probably gone somewhere, snuck around or something like that. I don't think he would have done this.
You realize how much Miller has affected his own speech to make it sound normal to
Yeah.
Earth people, because when he goes into the full belt mode, he
Yeah.
has that accent.
He does. That was such a memorable scene when he does that, and everybody just rallied around him, just like that.
Uh,
Didn't know he had it in him.
he saw there's a bunch of kindling lying in front of
Yeah.
me. I'll just go light a match.
You just go light the whole thing.
Uh,
Good. So I finished 2 episodes in 1. Awesome. So
Mm.
what are we looking forward to in season 2? Protomolecule and what's happening with that?
Yeah, we are looking forward to Amazon reinstating it on
Yeah, that one
Amazon
too.
Prime.
And they also have a lock on some stealth ship, I think, because it says unknown and they have a ship coming
Yes.
out of
And they feel that is
Eros.
the enemy. Yes, they do feel.
Uh,
They locked him. Yeah, I want to see what that is. I want to see what the protomolecule is going to do next. Whether it's going
yes.
to
Yeah.
imitate people or
Yeah.
how does
Is
it
Julie
spread?
alive or
Yeah,
dead is another question mark.
is another question. Yes.
Because if it can make clones out of Kenzo, Julie
Mm.
could also be made clones out of, I think. So is it going to do something like that? Pull something like that?
Mhm.
What will happen to Rossi next? Rossi's next destination would be Tycho. Back to Tycho.
Back
Or
to
was it
Tycho.
going
That's
towards?
the
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't going towards that unknown ship, was it? Or
because
Alex
some
just remarks, but I don't
yeah.
know if they're going to
yeah,
go after him. Them.
Yeah.
they did not identify the ship, right? There's no
No,
new name thrown around.
No, it
no.
just says unknown on the
Yeah.
display.
They
Hmm.
feel that it might have something to do with the rest of the troubles, but they haven't named it or anything.
In the first scenes of episode 9, also throughout the series, I was surprised because if you are a underground ship, underground being, if you want
Undercover?
to
Under
operate
the radar?
undercover, sorry,
Yeah.
if you want to Scopuli was operating under the radar, right? They
Mm.
wanted to do a covert. It really literally said freighter Scopuli covert OPA.
Mm.
You why do you have your real names printed on your uniforms? It says Julie.
Yeah. It's one of those
Uh,
things that just does not make sense.
Ah,
you're wearing the uniform. At least have no name uniforms.
Yeah. Something
You at least
stealthy.
have something that doesn't say Scopuli on it.
I don't think they expected the scientists to have any force, any show of force at all. So they thought they're just going to grab it. That was the idea. They were going to be
Uh,
inside the ship and grab that and haul it.
but Julie saying Julie giving out that information last minute that they are my father's scientists.
Mm.
So expect a show of force from them. They
Yeah.
should have been prepared for it from the
Beforehand.
get-go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
But
after or
even
before they
then,
were
I don't
boarded. I think
think,
before they were boarded. Yeah.
yeah, even then, I
That's
don't
true.
think they expected this much show of force.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. A lot
As
of
soon
things
as they're
went wrong.
boarded, the someone is immediately spaced.
Yeah.
Probably they're expecting an acid vial or something that the scientists would use to squirt on people.
One scene where Miller asks Holden what rain tastes like, that was nice. It's
Yeah.
a it was a very interesting scene because it was also kind of touching because as a belter, he has not experienced Miller has not experienced anything like that, and Holden here takes it for granted. He's not thought about it. He says,
In fact, there's a shot of him the moment he enters. You see, there's some water drop on him, and he does
mm.
this, right? So
He's trying
sort
to
of
taste it.
simulating rain. Yeah, he even try attempts to taste it.
Mm.
What is
Simulating.
sad that they have no natural phenomena at all.
Correct. And
Hmm.
The
that's
things that we
part
take
of
for
the
granted.
reason. Yes, and that's part of the reason they resent the earth so much because there's so many things here. There's so much natural resources, and like Lopez said in one of our previous episodes, you just sit and destroy the whole thing.
Hmm. Martians also sort of
They're living under a
resent the
dome.
Earthers because of the same.
Yes, yes.
The,
You have everything and you're destroying it. That's their
yeah.
viewpoint. Yeah, so that wraps up our season 1 and episodes 9 and 10. And we'll be back with season 2. And remember the Cant or else.
Or
Or
else.
else.